Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my webinar, which is Introduction to my Inner Success Circle, Wealth Accelerator Mastermind. Really grateful that you've come onto the call this morning, and for those of you listening to the recording, I hope you find it really valuable. For today, this is what's going to happen on the Mastermind. I'm going to, first of all, introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Then I'm going to talk about why I've started to run this Wealth Accelerator Mastermind group or program for you. There's lots of reasons, and I'm going to go through those. Then I'm going to open the line for any questions that you would like to ask me and the group. So we all have a wealth of knowledge, and I have a wealth of knowledge, but the people who are on this call and the people who will be in the mastermind also have a wealth of knowledge. So I'm intending for it to be a sharing process and not just me talking the whole time. Then I'm going to talk to you about how the mastermind actually is going to work, and I'm going to talk to you about bonuses as well. So this is me, my lovely smile there. My website is highperformancecoach.com.au. And I like to think of myself as helping others to make a difference. I really love working with people who want to see a positive change in the world and love to earn a living doing that. And therefore that expands my reach, because if I can help you to then help others more, then that expands my opportunity to help others and help the world and spread a positive message, basically. So my mission statement is to inspire, support and encourage people to identify and pursue what they truly want in life. So it might be that you're not really sure what it is that you want, or you're not clear on your goals. Or it might be that you are really clear on your goals, but you're not sure how to pursue them, or you're reluctant to pursue them, or it feels like you're taking one step forward and two steps back in terms of working towards your goals. So they're the things that I'd love to help you with today and in the future. This is just an example of my work page, which is also my passion in my goal book. You can see that I do help people set specific goals, but I love to do general vision boarding where it's just a whole heap of inspiring words and words that have meaning to you. Each one of these words and groups of words has a meaning to me, and I teach people how to create vision boards for their business and personal life, and this is just a little bit about me and my vision board too. So why would I start a mastermind? The primary reason is about the power of a group. So recently I was watching a seminar with Jack Canfield, who is the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul and is a big believer in the law of attraction and in energy and positive energy and working towards what it is that you want. And he talked about the power of intention of a group. So if there's one person putting out energetic intention into the world, then it's 1 times that intention. If there are 2 people putting an intention out into the world, then that vibration is multiplied by 2 times 2, which is actually 4. So there's 4 times the energy out there. If there's 4 people in a group, then it's 4 times 4. So there's 16 times the energy of that intention going out into the ether to attract that positive message coming back, or that positive event or outcome. The mastermind group's going to have a maximum of 6 people. So if you have 6 plus myself, that's 7. Then there'll be 7 times 7, which will be 49 times the energy going out into the world to help you create what you want, versus if you're sitting at home doing it by yourself, which is one person's energy. So that's the primary reason why I want to harness the power of a group to help you all get to where you want to be. Sharing ideas, as I mentioned before, is a critical factor of the group, because everyone has their own knowledge and experience and things that they've tried that have worked for them, and things that I've obviously I'm going to share things that I've tried and things that my clients have tried, but there'll be things that you've tried as a member of the group that will benefit the group as well. So it'll be very much a collaborative sharing environment. The support that you get from other people when you're struggling, when you're thinking about, what is it that I'm doing and why am I doing it, and you want to chicken out and all those kind of things. I just share something with you. Even last night, I was driving home because it was a long weekend on the weekend, and I was driving home from a friend's house, and I was thinking, okay, I've got the webinar tomorrow morning. I haven't done the PowerPoint for it yet, and I'm feeling quite nervous about it. Maybe I could postpone it to the following week. Maybe I could give myself another week to prepare. Or maybe I could just not do it at all. True, this is the conversation I had. And then the answer that came back to me was, no, Stephanie, you've said that you're going to do it tomorrow. You've committed it to doing tomorrow. You've got an hour in the morning to prepare for it, do the PowerPoint, etc. Come on, let's just do it. And that I did that on my own, but in the last term and a half, where this year, I'll just share a little bit about what's happened for me this year. My 5-year-old daughter has just started school, and my 10-year-old son is at school as well. So I've spent the best part of 10 years with a child at home. And now that my 5-year-old's at school all day, every day, I feel like this is the time for me to really step up in my business. And it's caused me a lot of anxiety, and there's so much self-doubt going on. And I'm just like, you know what? I need to be able to move through that self-doubt and that fear. And I've been doing that with support. So I've got my own coach that I call on. I've done a couple of sessions of spiritual healing with people. And I've also got my husband and other colleagues that I call when I need support. And I think that that's essential for success in life, that you've got those people around you. And I know that there are a lot of you out there that are really on a mission and don't necessarily have that close support network, who really understand what it is that you're trying to do and where you're heading. And so that's one of the reasons why that I created the group. And inspiration and motivation is the other thing, and they're two separate things. I see inspiration as where you see someone who's leading the way and doing the things that you want to be doing. And just merely by them being a role model in doing them, and it's one of the things that drives me, is that it gives you permission and gives you the encouragement and that role model for you to be able to keep taking those steps forward. Motivation I see as being quite a slightly different term. Motivation I see as being more of a one foot in front of the other, day to day, looking at needing to do the stepping stones towards whatever it is that you're working towards. And we've got a question from someone to say, my motivation goes up and down. Some days things feel really easy, and some days things feel really more difficult, more like a struggle, and I just don't want to do what I need to do. And what I would say to that is that you've got to go easy on yourself and be mindful that there's not every day where you're going to feel, not necessarily every day where you're going to wake up in the morning and feel fantastic and work towards your goals. And so on the days that you're not feeling like it, what else? I ask myself, on the days I'm not feeling like it, I ask myself, what else can I be doing today that I feel more like doing that's still going to be productive? So there might be, I might need to be in a certain frame of mind to do all my bookwork, for instance. And if I don't feel like doing it that day, if there's not a really harsh deadline, then I might go and do some exercise. I might do some meditation. I might take an hour off and go for a walk next to the creek in nature, just to recalibrate and recenter myself and ask myself, what do I need to be doing next? Check in with myself. And to me, that's a really important level in terms of motivation. It's a really important thing to be able to do, is to check in with yourself and ask yourself, what is the real reason why? Do I need a break? Am I just procrastinating? Do I just need to sit down and do it anyway? And to move through that fear. And I'm going to talk a little bit about overcoming fear a little bit later on. The other reason why I want to assist is to run the mastermind is that I want to assist more people. So in the past, I've been primarily doing one-on-one coaching, and I wanted there's only so many hours in a day, so there's only so many people that I can reach doing one-on-one coaching and assist. And I also wanted to find an affordable way to help people. So my one-on-one coaching is $597 a month, and the group Wealth Accelerator Mastermind group is $247 a month. So I wanted to make it at a price point that's a no-brainer, really, that's really affordable, but it's really powerful because you've got the group you feel like you've got the group lifting you up to get you where you want to be. There's going to be a maximum of 6 people in the group, and to keep that level of intimacy. So that's sort of the information about a group. So when we're actually running the group, a few people have asked me, what is the group actually going to look like? What's the structure? And so what we're going to be doing each week is we're going to be introducing ourselves and saying, okay, where am I now? Particularly in the first instance when we all get together and we don't know each other. What am I doing and where am I now? So if those of you that are on the call could just spend a moment typing into the chat session there where you're at now. I'll just be using first names because this is being recorded. Just to give us an idea of where you're at now and to give people an idea of how the group's going to run. That'd be great. And for those of you listening to the recording, just have a think about where you're at now in terms of achieving your goals. Do you need to set some more goals? Are your goals really clear? Do you need to get take some steps towards moving towards your goal? Just tell me, just spend a second writing down where you're at with your business and where would you like to be. Okay, thanks. We've got someone who is slowly building their business but feeling like they're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back and really need some help with accountability and that kind of thing. Thank you. We've got someone else who was engaged and now they're single and they feel like they're completely unmotivated to do anything and go anywhere. So what I would say with that is that if you've undergone some kind of a trauma or a grieving process, you need to allow your time to feel that process and be gentle on yourself whilst you're moving through that, because that can be a really difficult time. It's not a good time if you've been through a trauma or anything. It's not a good time to be, spending a lot of time actively moving towards your goals. You've got to give yourself the time to grieve and to get the support that you need, whether that be through counselling or through some help of a friend or through some coaching or whatever. I've got someone else who wants to monetize their website. Great. And someone else who's just not feeling well today and just can't think clearly. No worries. And we've also got Claire. Claire is from Intuitive Whispering and she's an animal communicator in training and she's just about ready to launch the next part of her business. So great. So when we're doing the actual group, we will go into more detail with each person about where are you now and what do you want to do next. So then part 2 of the group is questions and answers. So whatever questions that you've got for the group to answer, you'll prepare in advance. And each fortnight we will also spotlight someone. So we'll spend a little bit longer doing some brainstorming and spotlighting someone's either their business or whatever it is that they're working towards. So a few people have kindly submitted questions before the webinar because they couldn't be on live. And Laura's asking, how do I stay motivated? So I spoke a little bit about motivation just before. And it is something that comes and goes. Laura in particular is studying and she finds it hard to stay motivated. And one thing that I will say about when you're studying a course is the fantastic thing about it is that there are deadlines. So there's a certain date that you need to have that assignment in. There's a date set for the exam. And there's nothing more motivating than having a deadline. Although we can get frustrated with ourselves because I know most people will cram and do what they need to do within, a couple of days before the deadline. But that's okay. I mean, it depends on what personality type you are, but some people will really appreciate needing to work beforehand, and some people do really well under pressure, and to a certain extent, that's the kind of personality type I am, where it was an hour or so before this webinar, and I was finalising the PowerPoint for it. I had thought a lot in my mind about how I was going to run it, but because I work quite intuitively, I wanted to wait until close to the webinar, and also it helps me remember what I've actually written. If I do it too far ahead, I forget, and then I have to prepare all over again. So deadlines are really important, and that's the beauty of the mastermind. The mastermind is that we'll set each other deadlines and keep each other accountable, so that we do what we say we're going to do. When we're working on our own and we say to ourselves that we're going to do something, and we set a deadline, well, if there's no one listening, then it's very easy to just not do that, I guess. So the next question that Roz has is, how can I avoid getting sidetracked and going off on tangents? So Roz is clear about what her goal is, and she does do some work towards it, but she feels like not enough actual work towards it. So what I would say to that is, there are certain things that we need to do in business and in life that aren't going to be directly related to the business. So there are always things that need to be done with family, crises that come up that we need to fix, and the day-to-day things like housework and cooking and shopping and book work with our business and all that kind of stuff. And we can certainly be procrastinators, and we can do more than we need to do, but we've also got to be realistic that those things just need to be done. And as long as we keep coming back to what it is that we need to do, and I'm a big fan of to-do lists, and making and prioritizing, so that it makes it easier to keep on track. And the other thing that I do is outsource some of that stuff. So we have a cleaner that comes into our home twice a week that does all the vacuuming and the bathrooms and mops the floor and tidies up quite a lot, so that I don't need to do it, because it's not something I particularly enjoy doing anyway. And I'd much rather be spending that time working on my business, and so would my husband for that matter. So outsourcing is something that you can do, or doing whatever you need to do as quickly as you can, and being really clear that that's you can set schedules so that that's the time you do those things, and then the other times you're working on your business. So I hope that's helpful, Roz. Just have a drink of water. Okay, so both Holly and Charlotte submitted a similar question, which is, what if I know what my really big long-term goals are, but I'm not sure where to start because they feel so far away from where I'm at right now? So if there any of you can relate to that, I certainly can. So one of my really big goals, and it's nice to use an example, this was a generic question, and if they were on the line, I would ask them more about what their big goals are and see if we can brainstorm about how we can actually start from now. But one of my really big goals is to get a lot more personal development and emotional intelligence training into schools all around the world. And potentially, my husband and I would love to open our own group of schools and run them according to the way we think that children should be taught, with more student-directed learning and children following their interests rather than. And it's interesting because, whilst we set that goal a number of years ago, since then a local high school has just opened up literally around the corner from us, which has a lot of the philosophies that we had written down in our goal about to run schools like this. And now someone else is opening a high school which is in our local area and that our kids can go to. And just by putting the intention out there, you just never know what might turn up. So that's a really big part of it, is putting the intention out there and setting the goal. The second part of it is to ask the universe to show you what you need to do next to work towards it, and to then look for those opportunities. So the law of attraction experts would argue that we're actually being presented with opportunities to work towards our goal every day, all the time. And we might not necessarily see them or take them up because we're not looking for them. So a good example of that is we walk to school, we walk to the children's school most days, and my 5-year-old loves flowers. And so she knows where all the flowers are in all the houses, gardens, all the way. Now, if I were to ask my husband, what house along the way has got the best flowers, he wouldn't have a clue because it's not in his interest to see the flowers. It's just not something that he would look at or interested in. He's more interested in looking at, the cars that drive past, or, the structure of the buildings, or, the way where the signs are, or something like that. And so the same stimuli is being offered to both Peter and my daughter, but they're seeing different things. And it's the same thing with opportunities. So if you sit down and do some meditation and ask the universe to show you the opportunities and then look for them, you never know what might come up. You never know what might come up. It's just about setting the intention and then looking for it. So I hope that's helpful to answer that question. So part 3 of the Wealth Accelerator Mastermind is on each call. So part 1 is we're all going to introduce ourselves and where we're at and what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. The second part is brainstorming and asking questions. The third part is tasking or accountability. So for each member of the group, what do I need to do next to move towards my goals? And again, there might be a bit of brainstorming involved there to help people to decide what they're going to do next. What am I going to commit to before our next call? So what I'd like you to do, the people on the line, is I'd like you to just type in the chat box, and people who are listening to the recording, write down what are your next steps with your business or whatever goal that you're working toward. What are the next steps? What are the things that you need to do to actually move toward that? Let's just have a drink of water while you write those down. Okay, so we've got one person who is going to approach local businesses and find out how her product can assist them and ask them if they're interested in it. Great. She's also given a tip about how she stays motivated, which is fantastic. Thank you. She said that she likes to write I am statements. So can you give us an example of an I am statement that you might write that helps keep you on track? Okay, I am worthy of being listened to. Oh, that's beautiful, that one. Yep. Okay, so another way to stay motivated and to stay positive is the I am statements. Great. I've got someone else who is got some work that they need to do on their website. Excellent. Yep, someone else is going to study, pull out his books and start studying this week. Good job. Any tips for overcoming fear? Okay, great question. In terms of overcoming fear, there are a couple of things. One is, and this is something that I've been doing, particularly in the last couple of months, is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Another one is to get support and get other people believing in you and believing in what it is that you're doing. There's nothing more powerful than that, so that if you have your own fears, you've got a greater energy behind you to help propel you forward. But another thing that I've been doing lately is tapping, which is short for emotional freedom technique, it's called, but in kind of colloquial terms, it's called tapping. So if you just hop onto YouTube and you Google tapping for fear of success, or tapping for fear of failure, or tapping for fear and anxiety, then you'll see that there are a whole lot of YouTube videos which will take you through the tapping process to help you move through those emotions. And I've been doing them 3 or 4 times a week, I guess, and I'll do 2 in a row if I'm feeling particularly anxious about something, which I have been lately. And they are really, really amazing for changing your vibration and to help. They actually rewire the nervous system doing the tapping process. And it's just a series of points that you just tap with your fingers. And there's a guy on there called Brad Yates who I really like, Y-A-T-E-S, Brad. So if you Google Brad Yates tapping, you'll see, or put that in YouTube, you'll see a whole host of his videos. I also recommend it for moving through any emotions, and you can even tap on your goals and tap on your affirmations to make them even more powerful. So it's a very, very cool and easily accessed tool that if you did daily, you would really notice a difference in your life, because I certainly have as well. So that's the next part of the mastermind, I guess, is that part 3. Then part 4 is the support that you're going to get between calls. So I'm going to start a closed Facebook group, which I'm going to facilitate, which will give you support between calls. And if you've got any ideas, you can ask the group for feedback on those ideas and what do they think, and maybe a name for a program, or the next email that you need to write to your people, or whatever it is. So that will be there or if you're just having a really bad day and you just need a pick-me-up, or it's okay or something, that's the beauty of that. It'll be a really supportive environment. And then I will create instructional or informational videos if the group requires some knowledge, and I'll be able to put them up in that closed group so that you can all watch them and get the learnings. In my 8 years of working with Beyond Success and growing my own business, I've learned a truckload of marketing techniques and product creation techniques, which I would really love to share with you as part of the group. And if there are some areas there where I can create instructional videos which would be helpful, then I'll do that as we go. And then that'll be a resource in there for you to keep. So that's the part 4. Now I'm going to go across to the web page now, and I'll just go through the ins and outs of the mastermind. Are you in business for yourself because you love to serve others? That's my target market, people who really want to make the world a better place. And that might be by creating high quality socks. It doesn't necessarily need to be by being a coach or being a counsellor or a facilitator of some sort, but in a heart-centered way, if you want to make the world a better place, or if you just want to achieve your goals to help to extend to your family and your community, then absolutely that's what I'd love to help you with. Are you ready to expand your reach and make more money doing what you love? Do you enjoy nothing more than being surrounded by people on a similar journey to you, sharing ideas and being inspired to fulfill your life's mission? So this is the pack of lions, which I love this photo. It's just they're all on a mission, and you can tell that they're all going to be working together to get to where they want to go. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. So this is a little bit about me, so feel free to read a little bit about that, and there's more about me on my website as well, in my bio, etc. So the major benefits of belonging to this group, and I've called it magic because of that power, harnessing that power of the group that I mentioned. So there's accountability. So at the conclusion of each call, we're going to agree to tasks, and I know that that's a really huge role in helping you to move forward. Motivation. There's nothing more motivating than having a support group who believes in you and what you're doing. Education. Learn about solid marketing and wealth creation techniques. Goal setting. Aligning your goals with your vision and purpose. Collaboration, and this is something I haven't mentioned yet, is the possibility of doing a joint venture or collaborating, working together with others in your group. Feedback, the opportunity to run ideas by me and the group to get their feedback. Inspiration, to learn about the successes from others in the group. And, you know, because the group's going to be supportive, everyone is going to be at a different level. So it's not going to be a competitive environment where you're going to feel intimidated by anyone else, or it's not a competition about who can do the most in 2 weeks or anything like that. It's about accepting where everyone's at, including yourself, accepting where you're at in yourself, and moving forward at your own pace from there. So wealth acceleration, be clear about where you need to head so you can make money and serve more people. Magic, as I've mentioned, and join from anywhere. So it'll be in a webinar format just like this, so you're not limited by location. So hop onto this website now, because I'm only going to take 6 people. I've already got 2 people booked in, so there are 4 spots still up for grabs. Download the application form now and fill it in and get it to me. So it's a 6-month commitment initially, and then the potential for it to be ongoing. I'd love to see it as a long-term thing. A maximum of 6 in the group. The webinar will be fortnightly, will be accessible from your phone and your iPad or your tablet, as well as from your computer, so that you can you can dial in or log in from anywhere. Recording of the calls will be made available in case you can't make it, or if you just want to listen to it again. The private Facebook group just for the 6 people, so you can keep in contact between calls. There'll be a confidentiality agreement signed by all of the people in the group, so that what happens in the group stays in the group, and all your intellectual property will be protected and safe. And the same with the recordings. The group will not be allowed to share the recordings outside that group. The group start date, I had the 10th of June, which is today. That's actually going to be next week. So thinking the best day to start will be Thursday week, which is the 19th of June. So get your application forms in. Applicants will be considered for their suitability and fit for the program. So I want to know that we're going to be able to help you when you're at a stage where you're going to benefit from the support of the group. So we want to create a win-win environment for everyone. There's just another little nice graphic. So what are we going to be covering in the group? We're going to be covering how to create multiple income streams for your business, look at creating different products, how to convey your message, what your ideal audience will be, clarifying your target market, how to harness the law of attraction and goal setting and vision boarding to grow your business. We'll look at your personality and how that might be holding you back in your business, do a personality profile, and whatever else comes up. It's going to be quite fluid depending on the needs of the group. So the start date for the group should be the 19th of June 2014, because next Tuesday I'm not actually going to be here. I'm going to be away with my family. So the 19th of June. And the investment is $13.97. If you want to pay up front, you can save $100 or so, or $247 per month for 6 months. Strictly limited to 6 people. And those of you who are accepted into the program will also receive a copy of my recent webinar that I did a couple of months ago, 5 ways to boost the power of your goals using the law of attraction. The next bonus is an access to my 30-day email program, which came out of a 30-day challenge that I set myself on Facebook that some of you might have been following, which was 30-day Boost My Income Challenge, where I had to do one thing every day to boost my income. And I had so much interest in that. So many people messaged me, and when I saw them personally, said to me, "Oh my goodness, I'm loving following your income generating challenge." And so I've created a 30-day email program out of that, where there's one task each day for you to do to raise your vibration and mindset around attracting money. And then the third bonus is a copy of my Achieve Your Goals meditation, which is a guided visualization to help you step into your power and realize your potential. So it's a guided visualizations, and imagining where you're going to be and bringing it into the here and now is one of the most powerful things you can do to help you move towards your goals. So you will receive that as part of the mastermind as well. So hop onto the website, which is up here, highperformancecoach.com.au/mastermind. Download the application form and email it to me to secure your spot. Go back to my PowerPoint and view slideshow. Is it going to tell me right from the beginning? Yes, apologies to that. Go to slide, where was I up to? Okay, so where to from here? That was the information that I presented. So does this stuff really work, you know, harnessing the power of intention? And I just want to say absolutely it does. So people that I've taught and coached have manifested overseas holidays when there was no way they could afford them. One lady I worked with was gifted a ticket to Vietnam so she could go to her nephew's wedding that she really wanted to go to and couldn't afford to go otherwise. Yep, a lady that she just randomly met at a wedding said to her, I want to buy you the ticket to go. People have found their dream job. I myself manifested enough money to buy a car recently. 2 people that I've worked with have wanted a redundancy, a payout package from their job so that they could go on to create their own business, and they manifested that. That happened for them. And other miraculous business turnarounds where businesses were struggling and then all of a sudden they started flowing and things started really happening for them. So absolutely it does work. So there's the website, and I just wanted to say thank you all the people who were on today. I'm really grateful that you're on, and all the people listening to the recording, thanks for your participation. I'm really excited about this group, and I really look forward to hearing from you with your application, and then we can get on and do what it is that you're meant to be doing here. Bye for now.